business conversations at the dinner table was very different from a lot of people's experiences. And then getting into accounting, I always knew that I wanted to be an owner. And that's really what inspired me today is my parents and wanting to help people and help them understand their own business.
What are the top three mistakes to avoid?
Oh, this is a big one. I'd say number one, the top mistake to avoid is avoid getting ahead of yourself. Let the moment come to you, think through the moment, and then go. Don't try to project what other people are feeling about your business. The next one that I would avoid, being an accountant, staying on top of your books. If you know what your P&L looks like, it will tell you a lot about the health of your business. And then really the last mistake to avoid would be getting into a negative attitude, because a negative attitude, it leaks from day to day. And so you want to enter every day thinking positively about what you can build today. Even if nothing positive happened today, that doesn't mean that it was a negative or a bad day. It just means nothing happened today. Rest it, move along into the next day. Those are the top three things I can give you, Siddique.
What is your greatest failure story? What did you learn and how did you recover from it?
My own failure story is actually my greatest failure story is this year's tax season. It was my first one on my own. And what happened is I stopped focusing on the business and started focusing in the business to make sure that I was getting the work done, realizing that, being a business owner is not a 9 to 5 thing. And so I really got into the mistakes that I said to avoid. And what happened is it just kind of stopped moving forward from me because I was so focused in the business and not on it. And so what I learned was sometimes you just have to take a step back and keep that positive attitude of, look, being a business owner, it means working both in and on the business until you can reach a point where you can focus on the business. And so my recovery from it was talking to my peers and talking to my own parents. Like I mentioned, they're what inspired me to do this. And, having them tell me, take a step back, take that positive attitude. Don't let, one bad day leak into your next day. Every day takes a new approach. And really it made me a lot happier once I realized that. And so I would say that would be my greatest failure story in my own personal business. And it was just recent, as of 4 or 5 months ago.
What are your top three success secrets that others can model from?
I would personally, for me being a CPA, I know I'm a little bit of an extrovert, and it's a little weird in my industry to be a little bit of an extrovert. But I would say the number one secret to success would be just be yourself, whether you're an introvert or an extrovert, or if you're a little nerdy like I am, when you can see all the books behind me, be yourself. People like that. The other thing that I would say is being honest with your clients or your clientele, whatever that may be, just letting them know up front what's going on. They're always going to appreciate it. Even if something bad happened, because you were honest about it, they're going to like that. And then the third secret to success that I would say is, you know, in this day and age, a lot of people are just work, work, work. And I know that you're seeing a lot of articles in the New York Times about work-life balance and stuff like that. Now that, are we going back into an office, and, do we have to start commuting again? I would say that truly finding that work-life balance where you enjoy what you do for work, but then you can enjoy your time outside of it and leave the two separate, it really frees up, just a lot of pressure because you're able to separate the two. That would be my final secret to success that I would say.
We are about to move into lightning round. That means a quick question and a quick answer. Are you ready?
Yes, I am.
What are you grateful for today?
Honest, every day I'm just grateful that I get to wake up and love what I do.
How young are you?
I am 38.
Adam, you are not 38. You are 18 years old with 20 years experience.
I like it.
What do you want to do when you grow up?
So you can see the books behind me. I want to donate all the books one day to a library and have a little wing of that library named after me. So all the kids can go to a public library and read a lot of sci-fi and comic books and economics.
How do you overcome a challenge life throws at you?
I overcome challenges by breaking them apart, and I look at it as not one big challenge, but a series of small steps that need to be taken to achieve that larger goal. And that's how I approach every challenge that comes my way, and that's how I'm able to overcome it. I envision the finish line and understand that each step is progress towards it.
How do you start your day?
I start my day with about a 20-minute workout in the morning, and then followed by a shower and breakfast and 2 espressos.
What is the advice you will give to a younger yourself?
Oh, this one. This one's a tough one to think about when you sent that list over. It took me a minute. The advice I would give to my younger self, be patient. I'm not known for being the most patient person on the planet, but I've learned it over the years, and that would be the number one piece of advice that I would give my younger self is just be patient.
Once you have a revenue generating idea, how do you convince your significant other?
Well, I don't have a significant other, so really the only person I have to convince is myself. But if I did, I would explain I would run through both the positives and the negative aspects of it. Where there's risk, there's reward, and there's no reward without some sort of risk. And so it's really just sitting down and weighing the risks of what my brain is thinking for the idea.
What is the impactful book you have read and what did you learn from it? I understand that you're going to show 2 books. Let's start one at a time.
Yeah. So the first book I would mention is definitely your book. I just started reading it. I haven't completely finished it yet, but I love the aspect of team building. I did 10 years in the service industry. You have to be a team in that industry. Otherwise, it's not going to work. The other book that I've read is Henry Hazlitt's Economics in One Lesson. It was one of the books that got me into reading economics. And it's just a phenomenal book to understand really how economics is really just people making choices that they think are best for themselves at the end of the day and expanding that to include everybody. Those are the 2 most impactful books I've read recently.
Okay, you mentioned about you say your book. Can you say the name or title of the book and also the author name because it will be edited?
Yeah. So this one is called Henry Hazlitt's Economics in One Lesson. It was written about 40 or 50 years ago, I think, and it's a great jumping off point for anybody who wants to learn more about economics in general.
Okay, can you repeat the similar stuff for the second book too?
Yeah. And then this one, which is New Success Secrets by you and T-Cat Hauser. Great book so far.
Well, 1 second. Not by you. Say the name because I will not be in that video. So you're talking to a third party. Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, so this book right here, New Success Secrets, by Mohammed Siddique and T-Cat Hauser. I've just started reading it, and I really like how the very first chapter, how to approach team building. I think it's very beneficial for anybody that has never built a team. And I feel like even if you are moving into a place where a team is already built, how to get that team to buy in to what you're trying to do.
Why being impactful is important to you?
I always believe in the best of people. And for me to believe in the best of people, it means that I have to be willing to step out of my comfort zone and be willing to help people that, and impact their life in some sort of way. And I know what I do, a lot of people think it's just taxes. But, sometimes I don't like to start off with, hey, here's what your tax situation is. It's how's your family doing? How's everything going in your personal life? It makes people feel like you actually care about them instead of just here's your tax return. Thanks. I'll see you next year. I don't like that. I like I like talking to people. Everybody's got a story to tell. You just have to listen to it. And sometimes just listening is providing an impact to that person, whether it's someone you met at a bar for 5 minutes, someone who you met at a bus station, or someone that you're doing business with. It runs the gamut. And I just always felt it's important that I leave a positive view of myself in people's mind.
Who is your living mentor and what's the impact?
Oh God, my living mentor would be my mother. My mom's a corporate accountant, so she raised me to do bank reconciliations when I was 8 years old. It was her idea of fun. 20 years later, I'm at my first job doing a bank reconciliation, and I'm thinking, wait a minute, was this planned? And so that my mom would be my living mentor, and the impact that she's had on my life is just, outside of the regular stuff of just being your mom. Like I said, my parents were small business owners, and, they still work in that business world. And to be able to talk to my own parents about what my business is going through and, ask questions because they've been through it, that's just a huge impact for me. And to be able to have that sounding board from people who have gone through it.
What do you want to be remembered for?
Well, aside from the library donation that I hope to do one day when I'm a lot older and can donate all these books, I would just like to be remembered for always having a positive attitude towards everything, of being jovial, of being that person in a meeting who can laugh at the stupid things, but at the same time be able to think outside the box and throw out ideas that people don't necessarily think of, even if they're crazy ideas. Sometimes the craziest ideas are the ones that work the best. And so that's kind of what I'd like to be remembered for is, that I was a good person, or as my mother would say, that I was a mensch, and that I was always able to see the positive aspect and to bring positivity out of people.
Who is your ideal client?
My ideal client is that business owner in about that $500,000 to $1 million range who's really looking to take that next step up. Whether it's in, whatever industry they're in, there's a point where you have to start looking at the numbers for what they are. And at about that point right there, that's when the numbers can really tell you a story of what your business is doing. Are you projecting properly? Are you giving quotes properly? Is your costing done correctly? So that's kind of my ideal client, because right there in that sweet spot, you're really able to start helping people out, because then they can start doing some exponential growth by looking at the numbers and truly understanding what their business is actually telling them.
How can we support you?
Just, aside from going to the website and, seeing if you need taxes or a compilation or a review, a lot of the support that I get is really, I network for my clients. And that's the best support that I can get, is if I've got a client who needs something and you can help them, that's even better for me, because that's what I like. I want them to succeed, because I know if my client succeeds, I succeed. And so that's really the best support that I can get. I already know a couple people that I'll be giving the new Success Secrets book to, because they're starting to grow their business. And I feel that it could be impactful for them. Probably like a Christmas in July type of gift for them, just to let them know that, hey, I care about you. I want to support you, not just the taxes, not just, hey, here's how much money you owe, or here's how much money you're getting back. No, hey, here's how you build a team. Here's how you can take your $500,000 or $1 million. Now you can get the right people behind you to build it to 2 million or 2.5 or 3 million. So that's really the best support that I can get.
We are about to wrap up. I'd like to have you a few words about your today's guest experience on the show. Here is my question. What would you say about your today's guest experience on the show?
I would say it's been very positive. You and I have spoken a little bit before this in the past, and I have nothing but a positive experience of working with you and finding out about what you do, and you asking questions about me, and really bringing out some of these things that I hadn't thought of, who's my living mentor. I never really thought about that. And when I did, it was something that I really did have to think about, because we all pick up mentors as we move through life, and to have to think about it, to answer it, really changed how I approached it. And so just having some of these questions brought up and asked, I feel that it was a very positive experience. And if somebody asked me if I would recommend for them to read the book and to come on here and talk with you, I would absolutely tell somebody to do it, and that it was completely worth it. Even if there's no additional business or anything else, just to find out more about yourself as a business owner is a very good thing for someone to know. And so 100% A plus positive experience, Siddique. I would recommend anybody to jump on Growth Hacks and have a conversation with you.
What would you say as a final word?
Final word. Extensions are due September 15th. No, I'm joking. Just as a final word, I would tell all the business owners out there to, businesses have a flow, just like life has a flow. There's ups, there's downs. When it comes to business, don't take them personally. Don't take them home with you. That's your work. And leave that stuff separate, because you don't want it affecting your personal life. Even though we know it'll have some impact on your personal life, don't make it your personal life. Keep that positive aspect. Keep moving forward. That would be the last word that I would give to business owners and to just people in general, is just be positive. If something stops you, it's not, hey, you stopped me. It's I just have to figure out a way around this, and then keep going forward. And that would be the last word that I've got for you, Siddique.
Thank you so much, Adam, for sharing your wisdom with us today on the behalf of Growth Hacking Secrets community and our entire team. We really appreciate you. This is Mohammed Siddique signing off from Atlanta, Georgia. Until the next episode, all good wishes.